No, right?
5,
That's pretty though.
4,
Hell yeah.
3, 2, 1.
What? It's Hype City, bitch. I'm not singing nothing.
Whoa. Wildly uninteresting
Skibbity-bop-bop.
podcast. Welcome to episode 54.
Fuck
of the Wildly
SpaghettiOs.
Uninteresting podcast.
People around work have told me
SpaghettiOs.
they've been listening.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
They seem to enjoy it.
Yay.
That's good.
I've been getting on Instagram a whole lot, so any of the posts have been done by me here recently.
Ooh.
I'm trying
Hitting up the
to stay
Instagram.
up on it.
I can't do it.
No, it's
Well.
it's rough. I don't see how a lot of people, even like no-name people, will get like 15,000 followers and stuff. And I'm just like, I don't get how Instagram works, I guess.
All right, and we're going to go ahead and wrap it up because it's time to eat dinner. I'm hungry.
Right?
So
It's
hungry.
been episode 72.
I mean, if for me personally, I wouldn't do it, but for podcast purposes, I'm okay with doing it. It's been all right. I went and I was creeping on Kristen last
Tugin'.
night. Yep.
Tug
Dude,
on.
they just
Tug
so
on couch.
with Instagram, it's strictly based on picture. Like they don't really look at the posts that much, right? It's
I like
more
that,
picture
though.
than anything. So I feel like people with an artistic side should have a good time on
Yeah.
Instagram.
Oh, with fat old titties.
Big
I know,
old butts.
Cantina, because of where she lives, it's out in the middle of like the country essentially. She's got a lot of really pretty pictures. I think
Pretty pictures.
Yeah, I really enjoy Instagram thus far. I mean, it is very basic. It is, here's a picture,
Yeah, but
enjoy. But I like that.
You find people that take cool pictures. and
Yes,
It's pretty great.
it's wonderful. Of all the social media I think I've ever done, Instagram is for sure my favorite. I wish I had more stuff to
yeah.
post on our
'Cause
Instagram.
It's
Well,
really
take
hard
more
for
shit.
people to turn negative
Right.
on
Yeah.
Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Tumblr, they're like, oh, I'm a social justice warrior.
Yeah.
Twitter, oh, I hate everything. Facebook, oh, I'm just like a biker that doesn't read.
Yeah.
But Instagram, they get it.
Mm-hmm. I haven't had any
Facebook.
bad experiences yet.
There's a lot of bullshit on Facebook as far as how people post differently on Facebook than they do anywhere else, like you said. Like Twitter, I feel like there's
Yeah.
some good information there. But when it comes to Facebook, it's just people and their dumb fucking kids and stuff about their life and their shitty car and their
But what
shitty
about TikTok?
thing. You
Never
know,
done it.
I've
That shit's getting
seen.
weird.
I don't know anything about it.
I know I've seen people do it, and I have friends that do it, but I don't understand. I guess that's one of those things that come with the time, and it's like, well, I'm too old to get it. The
Maybe.
TikTok thing.
Maybe that is what it is.
That's
'Cause I-
not what it is.
It
I tried
is.
Vine before.
People aren't really too old to get things. They're just too old to want to get things.
to want to get it. I
Yeah,
think that's
maybe
what it
that's
is.
what it is. Yeah.
I guess I don't feel like that I would be of much use to something like that, right? I think that's the thing. It's like with Vine, we got into it a little bit, but man, it's been years ago.
Right.
I went terrible.
He was in the middle of a sentence before and he just stopped and went back to crinkling it. No words.
Crinkle.
That's right. We did talk about TikTok before and it's like Vine, but what, a little more essentially? Like
Yeah.
longer videos you can do.
I think better editing tools too.
Okay.
It's all the same.
So I got a question. You remember a while back when Tesla shot a Starman into space and put him into
Starman.
orbit, right?
Bowie?
The
Bowie.
the spaceman in the car in the Tesla Roadster.
No.
Okay, so they're out there
didn't know
floating
that.
in space
There's
somewhere.
a star, man.
There's a Starman
Waiting there to die.
floating
Yes.
out in the middle of nowhere, right? But weirdly enough, it is in like the gravitational pull of Earth or the sun. I think it's being pulled by the sun.
You're the
right?
one bringing it up, man. Give me the facts.
So
Don't
it's-
rely on me for this shit.
So it's coming back into our orbit and crossing our orbit, meaning that eventually it'll be at risk of hitting us.
Who'd you say did this?
Tesla.
Tesla. Okay.
Tesla.
Yeah.
SpaceX. Tesla.
Right.
They shot a roadster.
Elon Musk.
Catch up.
I just can't. I can't believe that.
They did, and they live streamed it too. He was just sitting there floating through outer space.
I saw this thing on Instagram. It was this little black girl.
Mm-hmm.
She was like in a classroom, And she was like, "Hey, everybody, this is Elon Musk." And he was like, "Oh, hey, what's up?" And they were all like, "Eh."
Oh, they didn't even think.
It was like show and tell or something. Like,
Really?
I don't know the reality behind it, but that's what it felt like.
Interesting.
She was like, "Hey, class of people that don't know, this is Elon Musk." And he's like, "Sup?"
That's awesome.
And they probably weren't phased at all.
No.
Bastards.
They probably didn't know who it was.
No, he's not. If really, like in his interviews and stuff like that, he's not really a really intense guy. He's very
Right.
slow played and kind of. He
Whatever.
actually, if you didn't really know the story behind him, he kind of is very uninteresting, like this podcast. You know what I mean?
Wildly. Actually.
Wildly. uninteresting.
Where is Starman?
Starman, but no, he
Well, I thought
crosses.
he was waiting in the sky.
Apparently.
he crosses our orbit a couple times, right? So eventually, my point, motherfuckers,
Yeah.
is the fact that eventually it comes at risk of hitting Earth.
I think there was also a Starman as a wrestler on this video game for NES, and I would oftentimes wrestle against him with this reptile guy that would eat your face.
I think I
awesome.
remember that.
There he is. Starman.
Yeah,
There he
Yeah,
is.
there he is.
Yeah. Interesting.
Starman.
All
It's
right.
funny those old games that you remember shit from. It's like, what's the one from downtown? That one. He's heating up.
Oh yeah, that's I was just
NBA
talking
Jam
about that
or-
NBA Jam.
Yeah.
NBA Jam.
Boom shakalaka.
It's like those games are great, and I don't think like nowadays. I don't think it's the same with music. They don't make games that you're gonna remember for years, or do they? Do they make games
do.
that you're just gonna remember?
You just
for
have
all
to be of the
eternity?
proper age group.
Yeah. And say kids will certainly remember.
Hey, you guys
Fortnite
remember
and-
that whenever that one character was all like, yep,
What's the one that you play that's like the blocks?
Minecraft.
Minecraft. Yeah.
That
People
game's
remember
awesome.
And it's just-
Also, will they remember what's the game? It's everybody plays it. It's everybody's playing it. Everybody's whatever. Fortnite. Okay.
Yeah.
I just said it.
No, you said Minecraft.
I said Fortnite before that.
Oh.
It's the only
We'll
one I
have
named,
to run
actually.
that back. We'll have to run that back. I didn't
Yeah.
hear that. Anyways, on to
I think both y'all eat a dick. Let's have a battle to the death. Adam hates women combined with Sarah is not a woman. Let's see who wins.
But Adam hates me anyway.
yeah.
But I
I
thought
said
I
she
thought
could be
he
a man and
loved
I'd
you.
still hate her.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Competition.
Competition.
Every man in the world is competition.
Fortnite was the very first one I named, though, and that's the one it's like people are definitely going to remember that. But like you said, they got to be at the
Will they,
right
though?
age.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they?
kids will definitely remember that shit.
It
They'll
doesn't
one
matter.
day be looking back on the internet trying to find, like we did with the wrestling games a couple weeks ago.
I feel like it's more based on like the soundtrack that came with it, the noises they
Everything.
made. I don't know if they put that much effort into all that stuff now, like the score to the game.
Kill the
I don't
Pope.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you guys see that Goldfinger, Mike from MXPX and like some of they did like a collective live stream of that one song "Here in Your Bedroom" or whatever.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
made me happy.
awesome. I'll have to look that up.
What up? Do you like that?
That was good.
Yeah.
Tasty.
Oh, you know what? You just said something about me shitting on women. You know one thing that I can't wait
It's
to
the
end?
segment.
I can't wait to just end. Women, stay-at-home moms, it's like nothing changed for them. Like nothing changed. It doesn't matter
Oh.
if there's a pandemic going on or you got to get your ass to work. They're at home all the time
What about
doing
me?
nothing but taking pictures of their stupid fucking kids.
There is a difference, though. Calm down.
And
because
doing
during
dumbass
the pandemic,
workouts.
they don't have new episodes of soap operas. So what the fuck do they watch?
And what do they do? What does a
Educational
stay-at-home
shit.
mom do?
They
I mean,
raise
they
their
tell
kid.
okay. How hard is that?
Do you want to stay home with
Yeah, I
the
mean,
kid?
how easy is
It
No.
would
it?
be terrible.
I wouldn't. I'd beat the shit out of it until it just stopped breathing. I don't want to have a kid, right? I
Go
didn't
sit
put
in the
myself in that
cage.
situation. But it's funny to know, like, the people who have kids and you know for a fact you grew up with them, you know they didn't want them, but they have them. And then they're all on Facebook talking about what a great miracle and gift it is from God and all this shit. And now they believe in God.
Now they do.
Now they believe in God, but they're doing
you
these
know why,
workouts
though?
on there
Like,
and yoga poses, and
if
I
you-
hate them.
If you don't talk about how much of a gift from God your kid is, people are going to have an issue.
I don't think you think.
But behind the scenes, like not on social media, but like face to face, parents talk real to each other about how terrible it is to have kids. I've talked to my friends who have kids, and I will not name people by name, but they're like, this is rough. They don't hate it because, I mean, it's their kid. They love their kid, but it's not all puppies and rainbows and shit.
No.
That's for sure.
I love this video game, but I am stuck on this boss and I hate it.
Yeah. That's exactly. Except worse because it's alive.
I'd probably kill myself if I knew that I was going to have a kid, though. Like, if I knew it was coming and there's nothing I can do and you were going to keep it and I couldn't run because I'm not that type of guy,
You remember?
I'd probably jump off a bridge.
Please get
So-
pregnant and test this.
So for
I'll do
one of his birthdays, okay, so his birthday is April 2nd, and April 1st, he used to always play really terribly cruel April Fool's jokes on me. So his birthday, I get all our friends together, tell them all I'm going to fake a pregnancy, and, you know, see how it goes. So one of our friends bought a onesie even, and, you know, we're opening presents, and he pulls out a onesie. I say I'm pregnant, and he flips his shit. I thought he
Not
was
a
going
good
to
joke.
cry.
Yeah, it was not a good joke.
Yeah, there have been no April Fool's jokes
That
since
little
then.
fucker better pop out black or I'm out.
So then I think about like the other people who have gone through that situation where the girl had come to him and be like, "Hey, I'm pregnant," and I felt what they felt in real time. Like that was truly despair. I was like, "What the fuck am I gonna do?
I thought he was.
What am I gonna do?"
I thought he was gonna cry, so I told him pretty quickly that I was just joking.
Yeah, just kidding.
He
'Cause
definitely
if you
teared
live
up.
a moral life,
Yeah.
so to speak, you know that like you couldn't run from your kid. You have to like take care of that.
You better
You have
step
to-
up.
Yeah, you have to step up and do that.
Or
But-
adoption.
See, that's
is
what I would
adoption
do.
moral?
Yeah,
All
absolutely.
right,
yeah.
well then
I
shut the
think-
fuck up.
I think even abortion is moral, depending on the situation and the parent.
Yeah, I mean, unless it's like 8 months.
Well, it's highly illegal, also. Even in New York, that's illegal.
Remember when you
Even
remember
New
when they used
Yorkers,
to do their own
uh,
abortions?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for
How
sure.
How hard can it be? Like
I
how hard is it?
imagine probably pretty hard.
What if I took a vacuum and shoved it like the hose up there and then just turned the vacuum on just for
That would
like a couple
feel
seconds?
So terrible.
Right? A couple seconds on the cervix, like right over the hole.
I don't
good
think
suction.
that would do anything.
Whatever.
I don't know.
It would
We'd
give
have
them
to-
brain damage probably.
We'd have to read into it.
Yeah, at least you'd have a retarded kid. Not
your
just a
vagina
regular
hurt,
Right,
kid.
because that's so much simpler
Yeah.
than a non-retarded kid.
It's
Your
more
vagina would hurt.
responsibility on
It would
my
feel
part,
terrible.
but it probably won't go stealing hubcaps.
Probably. But if it didn't, no one would be mad about it.
No.
They'd be like,
Aw.
"Oh, that's Ronnie
Yeah,
again."
that's what he does. That's his forte.
You think with all these
Ronnie's
stupid ass
forte.
He'd be the best repo man ever.
You think with all these the stupid ass stay-at-home moms that are doing nothing with their time but yoga poses, workouts, and taking care of their kids and shit.
Yeah.
You know how like your parents and my parents, everybody's parents back in our time of growing up, they made us feel like special boys and girls, and you can do anything you want and all that stuff. Now that like they have phones and their mom takes a bunch of videos of them all the time, you think they're going to grow up thinking they can be like movie stars, or that there's something like, you think they're going to feel more special than we did, because we were let down after we got out of high school. It was such a letdown.
No,
Like,
really,
sucks.
I think the idea of like capturing all the video and pictures is actually going to make them feel less special, because the reality is going to be more in their face.
Yeah.
oh, so when they go back and look at them. But you think honestly that people will go back and look at those? Like, I think I've watched my childhood thing without like me going and watch. I haven't done it at all.
Right.
But like I've walked in and my family's been watching it. I'd sit down and watch it with them. But I've never went back and looked at that. I don't want to see that shit.
Really?
Yeah. I don't like
I've gone
myself
back
now. Why
and-
would I want to look at myself as a kid?
I've gone back and
Wow.
looked at that stuff.
Have you?
You were probably cuter.
I had better dance moves. That's for sure.
That's not true at all. Your dance moves have only gotten better.
Yeah. Come at me, bro.
Yeah. I don't know though. I think everyone getting like out of high school and that reality smacking you in the face, I think really depends on what are you doing?
I'm eating Twix.
Oh, okay. I think really depends on how much people have been honest with you throughout your life. So, people get shocked by real life because no one ever told them that they suck at something. But
Okay. On that they tell you suck, whatever. I have an uncle that when I would play guitar and I would sing, my uncle would blatantly tell me, like, you're never ever gonna be a singer. Find something else to do. I don't care what it is.
no,
You don't
that shit
have
always
nothing, right?
pissed me off because you can sing and he's a dick.
Yeah, but do you think it was better that he told me, or do you think it would have been better if he didn't? And then I had this, I had my own vision of what the music would have sounded like. Like I thought I was great in my head, so maybe I could have went on and made,
I think, one, if you're going to tell someone they're not good at something, there's a way of doing it. And you should say, especially like you, someone who enjoys playing music, they should say something along the lines of, it might benefit you to take some singing lessons.
Right.
Even that, like they should offer up specific criticism.
Yeah, not just you suck.
Not like a
Because
blanket, you
look
suck dick
at-
at singing.
Yeah, because look at Bob Dylan or Tom Waits. They can't sing for shit, but people fucking love them.
Tom Waits can. He just chooses not
yeah,
to.
he just sings
I'll
very
say,
off.
because what makes me ask that question,
How
right?
are you?
There's this, there's a white rapper, Tom McDonald.
Nas.
Tom McDonald, I think. He's a white kid. He has a bunch of tattoos, but he's a terrible rapper. In my opinion, it's like rhyming sky and flying high together. Like, it's terrible rapping, right? But now
What else
he's
is there to
making a lot of
rhyme
money
with?
doing it, right? But he's shitty at it, right? So
Right.
maybe I could have been, Tom Waits style, like shitty singing or spoken word singing or
Take
something
it back.
else.
Tom Waits is amazing.
Tom
I
Waits
don't-
sucks.
Yeah, Tom Waits.
You
sucks.
just
Tom
say that
Waits
because your
sucks.
wife says
Well,
that.
yeah,
no,
probably.
it's because he hates Tom Waits.
I just
Also.
No.
It's very boring
Let us go
and
back
dull
to
and
episodes
stupid.
11 through 13 where you claimed that you change your opinion on things based upon what she says.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but
I
he
do.
didn't like Tom Waits
I
before
never
I,
knew him.
said
Let's
Tom
send
Waits
her
sucks.
to Aruba. Give me a week with you. I'll change your mind.
No. I do,
Fuck.
however, think that Tom Waits in specific situations in terms of movies and TV can really add something great.
Gilmore
But I-
Girls in
yes.
time.
But I don't want to sit down and listen to Tom Waits for any fucking reason. End of
Smell
story.
like a brewery.
I can't.
It's not good. But you see, like, now and then, like, okay, going back, like, Bright Eyes, Hobo Johnson, people that make this weird out there music. I could have done something like that if I felt comfortable in my own skin singing.
Yeah.
But like after he said that, and so blatantly at a young age and a vulnerable age when I was looking for acceptance, I see now that hindered me really going forward with making music. I still got on stage and did like open mics, but I never went
You know
forward.
that dude, Gary V?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Gary Vaynerchuk.
Gary
Vayner-
V.
Akira the Dawn just put out an album of stuff that he said.
Really?
And he has this thing where he's like, I can't hear you. Whether it would be like the positive feedback or the negative feedback. He's like, whatever you're saying, I don't fucking hear you.
Right.
Right.
Yep.
And then
That
that's,
guy's-
that's when you're really in the zone. Because it's like, okay, if it's good enough for me, cool. If it's not, I'll tweak it. Fuck everybody else.
Well, and what's your uncle's opinion got to do with anything? He can't play
Well,
an instrument.
yeah, but that's
He
not what I'm
can't
saying. I'm
sing.
saying at a young age, and so it didn't matter who it was or what they do or none
Oh,
of that.
yeah.
I was so young in that vulnerable situation that it bloomed into something that was bigger than what I was. Like,
For
I
sure.
couldn't get over it because it was such a young age, and then the way we grew up, childhood, and all that mixed together. I'm just saying, do you think it's but not
Ballooned.
about that situation?
Oh
but do you
no,
think for other
what
people?
I was saying is you need to because I didn't finish my sentence. You need to look at the person who's saying you're not good at this.
Oh, absolutely.
So, I mean, if I said you suck, you would probably listen to me as well, but I can't sing.
If a shark says that you can't swim for shit, it makes sense. But if like a parakeet is like, you suck at swimming, it's like, what are you doing,
right,
bitch?
But
and there's people out there that there's music for everybody. Like,
right.
I don't like Breaking Benjamin, but you do.
But to the original question, though, do you think that, okay, if a child in that position, right, I'm talking about like the guy giving the advice, whether he can do whatever, anything, do you think it's better for them to be blatantly honest to that kid, because the kid can't look past, I'm a kid, this is, you know, my life, what I'm living, the day here now, blah, 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 right? So is it better for that adult, no matter what they do or what they're good at, to give them constructive criticism?
No.
Or blatant, like, you suck dick at doing whatever you're doing?
I say no because like some people, even though they're being honest, so to speak, they have no real reason to be speaking like that. Because I can tell somebody honestly that what they're doing is complete crap and I hate it and it's stupid, but if I'm not an authority, then who gives a fuck what I say?
Right.
Yeah.
Don't cut that kid down with your truth.
Right.
Just because you're bitter.
I think there's certainly a difference between constructive criticism and just outright saying you suck too. Constructive criticism, I think, should always be welcomed.
Check it. I was watching a director's round table that like the Hollywood Report does or whatever, and one of them said like from a movie there was a thing where like the Pope said truth is the most important thing and like everything should be rooted in truth, but then to follow that it said if it's not based in love it's unbearable.
Interesting.
So I mean you can't just go spouting quote unquote truth as a cocksucker.
Sure. Yeah.
But if you're coming from a good place then great.
What do you think about it?
I don't think that we should tell every kid like, oh, you're great and you can do anything. I think each person has a specific skill set, like a collective skill set that they're good at. Like I feel like I'm good at multiple things and I'm good at learning and all that, which makes me good at the things that I do. Now, have I found that thing that I'm going to do the rest of my life? I can't say that. I want to say that, but I can't say that.
Right.
But I feel like we're all born with specifics. So them cutting you down at a younger age, would that, will it help you find that thing that you're made for quicker because you're not dealing with the bullshit that going against your grain?
It could if you have that mentality of fuck you, I'll show you.
Right.
And then you dig in harder.
But most kids don't. I think some kids do, but most kids don't. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Some of them are pretty easily defeated.
Right.
Nowadays, especially.
But then the ones that are easily defeated, do we really need them?
No.
Well, I think too, though, it depends. Like everything, nothing's black and white. Same thing for this situation. I think all kids are different. So, I don't take well to. I played basketball, but if I wasn't told I'm doing a good job and was just told, oh, you need to do this differently and this differently, like that made me feel like I suck when in fact I didn't. It's all about that person and how they receive information. I think it should be tweaked to fit that person. And hopefully if you're trying to constructively criticize somebody, you know them well enough to give it to them the way it's going to benefit them. Because at the end of the day, that's what you're supposed to be doing for kids, is benefiting them. You are molding them into the adult that they're going to be one day. So I would hope that someone would say it in a kind way that's actually going to benefit you.
See, I do this thing where, like, if somebody doesn't know something, I'm like, you fucking idiot.
Yeah.
But whenever I don't know something, I just want them to explain it to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Like in that, I hate it. I hate whenever I don't know something. A lot of times I won't say I don't know because of that. I don't want that. I don't want someone to think I'm an idiot because I don't know anything or something. It would be different, I think, if people just explain stuff. Okay, cool. I'm fine with that. Not you're an idiot. It doesn't help me with anything and actually makes me not receptive to what follows.
Eric Thomas has a good way of doing things. He has a test that you can take, like in a relationship.
Who the hell is that?
He's number one motivational speaker right now.
Okay.
I'm not saying that it's going to stay very long. Anyways, he has these tests that you can take, and it tells you how you receive information, how you love, how you deal in a relationship, all that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in each person, if you take the information given to heart and know that, like, hey, you don't like hearing my advice, or you don't like when I butt into your conversations, or take over projects, or give you directions. It helps you
Determine that.
Yeah,
Huh,
and
I like
work
that.
better with your spouse or your friends or the people around you.
It's kind of like I brought that. You're gonna think I'm lame for this, but that love language thing home. It was a quiz to figure out what your love language is, whether it's doing small acts or gifts or whatever. It's like that, but not your love language.
Yeah,
per se.
I think it probably has a mix of that with a lot of other like career things and how you interpret advice and stuff like that, and how you
like that.
you need to receive it to actually use it in your advantage. So I feel like that would be a good thing to do. Take a quiz and
Most
figure it out.
definitely. I like that idea.
What your acceptance
Like,
game like.
quizzes are gay,
Whatever. Quizzes rock.
but they're helpful.
Quizzes that tell you who your celebrity twin is are stupid. And there's a lot of
those
people
are
on the
nice
internet that
ones.
do that shit.
I saw this one thing, where they
I
have
like that.
like you post your picture and it'll show you what celebrity you most look like.
Norman Mailer. I swear to God.
But there was one. You guys know that drawn thing, dick butt?
No.
It's like a dick, but like with a butt.
Oh,
It's dick
couldn't
butt.
have guessed that.
Yeah. All right. So
Thank you for explaining that to us.
so they put in dick
I
butt,
thought it was a cat with a unicorn horn.
but then like it shows the transition,
Yeah.
and it ends up looking like Benicio del Toro.
That's a good one.
I thought that was pretty funny.
Beautiful.
Oh goodness. But no, my celebrity lookalike was Norman Mailer. I did that I want to say it was like middle school, back when we had Zynga. And Norman Mailer was the thing that why do I look like him?
I don't know.
I don't think I do that much. Not enough that
I don't either, but clearly the internet does.
yeah, the internet was really
I wonder if the internet and their algorithms can catch like different details in your face.
Do you know it's actually pronounced a logarithm?
A logarithm?
not.
No, it's not.
Damn
probably
you,
not.
Sarah.
I would have started saying it like that because I used to think it was suffocate, and it's not. It's suffocate. There's a lot of things that I say that in my older age that people had to shut me down because I listened to assholes like you.
Turns
I
out
was
it's
like,
actually
oh, okay.
pronounced cocky.
Cock
And then whenever people are all like bukkake,
Yeah.
it has nothing to do with coming on women. It's just like cake sucks. Boo.
Boo.
Boo
I
cocky.
hate boo cake.
I didn't know this. Goodbye is like a religious term. Is God be with you. It's
Oh,
all
really?
drawn
What?
together. Yeah, when they used to have gated in cities, and you were leaving the city walls, where
Yeah.
the people would say goodbye, and it just meant God be with you. Just like Godspeed and shit like that.
So whenever I'm
Interesting.
done with a bitch in my life and I'm all like, goodbye.
Yeah.
You're
That means
actually,
God be with you.
Yeah.
you're actually bidding her well.
So how do I say rotten hell, bitch?
Just like
Just
that.
like that.
No.
That's how you do it.
But it's rooted in love, so it's coming from a good place. Just get the fuck out of my place. Thank you.
So I want to bring up a point
Yes.
that I think, I don't know if you've noticed or anybody else, but I'm a service electrician. So I go from one end of the town to the other end of town, right? So from the
yes.
rich part of the neighborhood, East End, Prospect, all that, to South End and Portland, right? Something that I've noticed,
Hood.
like out in Prospect
say
in the
the black
nicer
part of town,
neighborhoods,
but I thought maybe
you go
not.
in and they're nothing. They don't have the floor taped off and plastic hanging everywhere and dividers, and they're not real serious about their shit. They're just like, hey, keep a distance. I'm sure you're an intelligent human. It's okay.
I've cleaned this
The
off.
more
for
you go to the poor side of town, I mean, it's there's like a scale, and it gets worse and worse as you go into the poor side of town. You go into their gas. I went into a gas station the other day, and I was looking for an item that usually they have by the counter, right? And I got yelled at in my face. I got yelled at because I was looking for the item. Like over their little barrier, they had a barrier built up of beer, like 12 packs, and you had to walk in that barrier and then go and get in line, and then they directed you, and they would get you items, right?
Right.
Just so you didn't have to get into their store and stuff. Well, I peeked over the 6-packs to look at the counter, and the lady yelled at me and about half kicked me out of the fucking store because I was looking for something. She said, "We'll get it for you. We don't want your germs all over everybody else." Is like, how do you know I have germs?
How do you know I have germs?
I think
I don't have a one. I got rid of them all.
How do I know that the shit that I'm buying from you doesn't have germs
And it
all
probably
over
does.
it?
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
it just baffled me how when you go to the poor side of town, the intelligence level kind of peters out.
Well, that's why they're poor. They're stupid.
Do you think they're all like it? Because every time we go back down to like Portland or something, it just baffles me how, and you can see it on it. Like you can see how stupid they are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What is that? Why does intelligence and economic standpoint
It's because
correlate?
it takes intelligence to make money.
Well,
I mean, there are exceptions because some people are just lazy or catch a bum break. But
right.
for the most part, if you're poor, it's probably because you're fucking stupid.
Yes.
Probably.
Well, and we had talked about this, and I had posed the question of, do you think it's that way because, you know, in the South End and I guess Portland as well, and in the West End, was it fear? Was that the question? Was it fear or just they're dirtier? Like they don't shower, they don't wash their hands, like things like that.
The unintelligence level creates a fear, a panic. I think stupid people can't rationalize things in their head.
Oh, yeah.
So they see these headlines and they freak out. Like they don't know what to do with themselves and they feel like the world's going to end. But I think it's the stupidity in them that brings on the massive fear.
Everything else.
Well, I mean, it certainly is that.
I mean, they take the 6-foot rule serious.
Did I tell you guys about the thing I saw? It was like a video. And it was talking about like the COVID. Do you guys call it COVID-19 or coronavirus? Or do you call it the
Switch
Rona?
back and forth, yeah.
I flip-flop.
I hate all of
Flock
it.
of flock. Right.
I do like COVID, though.
Either way. There was this thing where I forget what state it was. It was either Louisiana or Georgia, somewhere in the South.
Mm-hmm.
And they were saying that black people are far more susceptible to it.
Yeah,
Or like,
they're dying more.
Yeah,
What?
they made up like 30% of the population, but 70% of the deaths.
Yeah.
What?
And then it
I
makes
didn't
me
hear that.
wonder, because I mean, I've thought, you know, black people are susceptible to sickle cell.
Right.
So, I mean, that implies that they have a different immune system.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also, when I think of people wilding out, like disregarding what the government says, because there is the mistrust and there's the whole,
Absolutely.
fuck you, man, this is how I do. Like,
Mhm.
what do you think it is?
I think it might be a mixture of both, but I would say the immune system plays a big role because there's a lot of, I guess, diseases and stuff that they're more susceptible to. And
Blood type plays a huge role in how your body handles the virus as well. So that's like true.
Yeah.
Being black it makes you more susceptible. But that sucks.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Which they're still like researching and stuff. That's just their initial like analysis of the data right now.
Yeah.
But I'd say it's most definitely true.
That's
I was
terrible,
like,
man.
cops hate you and your blood sucks.
Well, it sucks. I mean, like heart disease and diabetes
yeah.
and alcoholism, all of that stuff is, I don't want to say more frequent, but they're at a higher risk for
Yeah.
all of that stuff.
Damn it.
And
I could
it's-
say like the alcohol stuff. It probably stems from life being crap.
Oh,
so they
absolutely.
Use it.
Yeah.
But
I'm on that Henny. How much a cup for a cup of Henny?
So
Yeah.
we talked about you like clothes and everything to a point where it's an order to stay in your home for 2 weeks, right? And the government would bring supplies to each home or whatever. Let's say that happened. They just shut everything down where you don't touch a single surface outside of your house for 2 whole weeks, right?
Yeah.
Would that like stop it? Because the virus is still going to be out there floating around somewhere, right? And you're going to eventually touch it, and you're going to stir the shit up, and it's going to continue to move forward. Is it going to be like, it's going to be like the flu. Eventually, everybody's going to get it. If they don't have a cure for it, then it's just going to, you got to get it. And then if you die, you die. If you don't, you don't. Like.
And then we'll get a vaccine, and then it'll be like flu season.
Yeah.
Of COVID-19 season. I've thought that. But Bill Gates, I think, said that, if we just shut down the country for 10 weeks,
10 weeks.
it'll all go away.
Do you think that would the virus actually go away, or would it lay dormant on
I'd
surfaces?
be interested to see how Italy's numbers have changed since they went on shutdown.
Well, I'm thinking based upon our understanding of it, because, it can live for like 3 days on cardboard, for like a day or something on paper or whatever. But if in 10 weeks nobody did anything,
Nothing.
it would go away.
Yeah.
And then instead of having like a stimulus for like an unknown amount of time, it's just like, okay, for 10 weeks, we're going to give everybody in the country money. We're going to stay the fuck home.
Yeah.
Then it would go away. But then it's not in everybody's best interest to go away. Well, it's not in Big Pharma's interest to go
No.
away.
Well,
Because then it will become like a flu shot.
yeah.
Get your COVID-19 shot every winter. And all is well.
I think that's definitely going to be the key to it is they need to get a vaccine. But I
People
can't
have to die for
imagine.
that to happen. Though,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
I can't imagine them actually shutting like the world down for 10 weeks. Because look, people right now are flipping out because they can't go to church tomorrow. They're going to go anyway because it's my choice.
Now that kind of stuff, it
That's
leads
some
me to
bullshit.
believe that like I'm kind of glad people are doing that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, thin the herd. Fuck
Yep.
those
Kill
people.
the Christians.
See, and here's
Kill
what
them all.
well, and they're mad.
Kill them all.
Kill them all.
They're mad because they're talking about going, and there were like 7 churches that they know specifically they've heard talking about having in-person services, and they're gonna have people, and they're gonna write down license plate numbers, and they're gonna come and they're gonna quarantine them for 2 weeks because they won't listen. They won't stay home and not do it because they think they should be able to.
I saw one lady, they were interviewing her, and they were like, so why are you here? And she's like, I am covered in the blood of Christ. I will be fine. And they're like, but what about the people outside of your church, like in grocery stores and stuff that come in contact with you? She's like, I'm covered in it. I'm fine.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
But-
that bitch is definitely gonna die.
But this kind of mentality, like as it pertains to the religious people, I'm glad that they have this. Because if you're going to have faith in God and an afterlife and that he's going to protect you and that it all is well,
Yeah.
put your money where your mouth is. Go to your stupid fucking service and die.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that's exactly what's going to happen.
Get 'em all.
I
for
like
sure.
that.
Get 'em all.
Yeah.
That's I was watching a bunch of these videos. If anybody gets a chance, please do this. It's called
Even if you
Oh,
don't
sorry,
get a
hold on.
chance, fucking make a chance, you lazy
I was gonna
bitch.
say it just sucks though because then like everyone that they come in contact with, they don't have that choice of being exposed to it, and that's bullshit. Especially since older people are more susceptible to it, they're more likely to die. And if grandma's just going to the store because she's out of milk and she has to go, it's bullshit that she's at risk because some dumb bitch thinks Jesus is gonna protect her.
True, but like
Jesus
at
ain't
the same
protecting
time,
shit.
a lot of people, like a lot of places, offer the whole curbside.
Which is
thing.
wonderful.
So, I mean, you
would
can-
imagine too that a lot of people are using that.
And if you're old and you're concerned for your health, wear a mask, do
Yeah.
the curbside shit, and fuck off. Like there are ways to survive all of this,
all right.
and if you don't take advantage of them, eat shit.
yeah.
For the argument of is God real? Is God not real?
Oh yeah.
Does Christianity help our moral standing as a culture? or does it hurt us and all that, right? The Oxford Union, all you got to do is type into YouTube, Oxford Union. They had these debates whether God was real, if God was fake, right?
Yeah.
And what you should believe or what, they were just giving out cold hard facts, like straight up facts.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
Yeah.
It was interesting.
Motherfucking facts.
The points they make, and a lot of them are atheists that were arguing that, God's not real. You made them up, and it's based solely on faith. There's never been an ounce of proof. It's all faith, right? But I just thought it was cool because the way they said it was, say you believe in God and I don't, I'm an atheist.
You believe in God and I don't, you're an atheist.
Well, you're an atheist too.
Yeah.
You're just one God more. You know what I mean? You believe in one other God. There's been like 900 so-called gods.
I feel like Ricky Gervais said that to like Stephen Colbert. He's like, you disregard and think every other god is stupid except one.
Yeah. So technically you're an atheist as well.
I just don't believe in one more than you.
Yeah. That's the way it's at. I said it wrong, but yeah, you caught it just like that. But
was it wrong?
There was no.
But was it wrong? I feel like he was on it.
Oh yeah, no, you were all over it.
But they were saying that there was something like 900 made up gods throughout all these cultures and shit.
I mean, they're all real.
Yeah. I hope at least one or we're just making stories up and expecting people to believe them. The other thing that I thought was shit. I don't know what the other thing was. I know it was,
the flying spaghetti monster.
Yes.
They were matching up the stories, right? How there's a lot of great floods in a lot of these stories, and they match them up geographically, and where these stories had originated, geographically speaking, they were prone to their rivers flooding or their lakes flooding. So of course, in their stories, they had this great flood that brought, whatever. Like I think even
whatever that shit brings.
Yeah, I think even the Native Americans believe that the turtle brought the mud out of the water after the big flood that created the continents or something. I don't know if they truly believe that's what happened to the world, but that's the story that they tell. Like that great turtle brought the mud off his back and made the continents, and
not the mud.
Mud.
But yeah, if you get a chance, the Oxford Union, check out all those videos and listen to the side that preaches about it's real.
Yeah.
It kind of
certainly listen to both.
Yeah, after you hear like the not real side, like don't believe in it, hearing the real side is kind of like, what the fuck are we doing here, man? Like,
I'd be interested because I didn't listen to that one. I'd kind of like to listen to it.
Yeah.
I almost feel like you should perhaps listen to that one first.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
And
then go with the not real side.
Yeah.
Earlier, I listened to Kid Rock,
No.
and he was all like, "I'm an American badass."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah."
You're stupid.
I mean, it's trash, but I was
Get
excited.
you hyped up still.
I don't know. That Ball with the Ball, is that a thing?
Oh, that song sucks.
Is that the
Get
name of
outta
this?
here.
Whatever, dude.
I don't
That'll
know
get
what
you
the
jacked
song's
up all the
Don't even
time.
bring
The
up Kid
beginning
Rock.
of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it it crescendos into it. It's real quiet.
You know.
3'9" with a 10-foot dick.
Yeah.
Man. I was also watching a
Hey,
video
do
about.
Fred Durst.
Oh yeah.
I was also watching a video about the what is it? The modern capitalist society.
Yeah.
They've only solved a portion of our issues. So with all the technology, right, that we have, all the automobiles, all that, they only fed into one of our needs, and that was the need to distract ourselves. Because it's the only need that we cannot, it's an impulse, and we like to feed that impulse by looking through Facebook or buying a new car and all this like that want, and that they fed into that. Like that's the only thing that they've taken care of. They haven't really solved any problems, but in that society, like all we're doing is distracting ourselves from moving forward as a person, ourselves.
Yeah.
How often do you sit in a room without looking at your phone, playing a game, how often do you just sit with yourself and think?
Every day or two.
Truly, like you sit there and you think like past, present, future, run it through your head.
Yeah.
Ah, fuck you.
Well, he's not the one to ask that to. Of course he does. I sit in silence sometimes. But my brain just doesn't go, so I don't mind sitting in silence. So, but I will say that I do more often than not. I prefer to have something going in the background, whether it's talking or music or TV or whatever. But I don't always listen to it either.
But yeah, so would you be able to turn that TV off? Not look at your phone or play a game and just like close your eyes and think? You think you could do that?
My issue is the thinking part. At this point, my brain doesn't do that unless there's something actually like going on in front of me, whether it's conversation or reading or
Do you
whatever.
think that's because you've distracted yourself with
No,
with
I think that's
videos and
because
stuff?
I've destroyed my brain with drugs.
I
Unfortunately,
don't know
I would
if I
assume
believe
it's
that.
because you're content and happy.
Oh, that could be it too.
Because, whenever I think of stuff, it's because I'm trying to figure something out because I'm not happy with where I am.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That very well could be it because it's never going. Although when I do have an issue, it does go. So maybe that is what it is. I always just assumed I fucked my shit up with drugs.
No, you're stupid. Don't think that. I know the answer.
You're stupid.
You are
Yeah.
stupid, but
That's awesome.
no, it's a hard thing to do, and that's I've been reading that book that she got me, and just like reading, and then I'll put earplugs in and just listen to my breath. Right? It's a hard thing to do with that, like because the TV would be going, you can kind of hear the muffled TV in the background, and you like automatic response, and here you want to turn around and look at that TV. You know what I mean?
That's exactly.
But no, just listen to your breath and like thinking, like what it is to be alive, what it is to be a human, what it is to be in this space with
What
the
it
two of you.
is, it ain't.
You know what I
What
mean?
it ain't, it is.
It's hard for people to do that. And especially in a relationship, like if we're in a relationship, if we are,
If
say
we
we're
are,
in a
are we?
relationship,
Are we?
but it's hard
Oh
to,
my God.
you get lost in that because a lot of people don't want to share their feelings. A lot of people run from their feelings. I feel like that's a lot of what we're doing when we're scrolling through shit and watching videos. We're running from these feelings, like you said. Like you're not content with something, and you're trying to, to think your way out of it. A lot of people don't think their way out of it or think about it because they're like,
Yeah.
F that. I'm gonna, watch this video and feel better about myself. You know what I mean?
I was listening to some Jordan Peterson shit the other day.
Ooh.
And he was like, a big reason of why a lot of people don't like thinking is because generally when you're thinking, you're trying to work out a problem. And whenever you're trying to work out a problem, you have to admit that what you're doing isn't right. So then you have to accept that you're wrong.
Ooh,
And
we have a
people don't
hard
want to be
time.
wrong.
Yeah.
No.
They're like, no, this is fine. I'll just stick with it. I'll
Yeah,
be
here's
right."
my
Yeah.
justification.
So that irritates me. I kind of want to start slapping people.
I feel like the majority of people feel like they're right 99% of the time.
Yeah.
Like what they're saying that's coming out of their mouth is true fact.
Yeah.
And in reality, they don't like. 'Cause you got to think, how many studies would you have to read to know that the fact that you're saying out of your mouth is true? Because
Right.
what if you read one and then 10 years later it changes, which it probably will anyways, no matter
Right.
what article you read.
Well, in any one that you find that says this, there's
Another
one
one,
that says
rebuttal.
the opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah, always.
So I guess you just got to inform yourself. But people don't want to do that. People want to do that.
All right, check it. I was thinking about this the other day. I was talking to this dude at work, Shane, about, like the deeper questions of life and like religion and shit.
Yeah.
And, you have the idea for like the duality of things. Like you can't know light without dark, happiness without misery, and that kind of shit. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
So the idea that God is the ultimate good. All right. And then people say that Satan is like the ultimate evil.
Right.
Right? But if God created Satan, that would make Satan a slightly lesser evil with regards to God as a positive.
Right.
So,
Wouldn't it also make God lesser good because he created evil? Would
That's
that
a
be
whole
the
other
opposite of
thing, 'cause,
that?
I mean, the people have tried to tell me that it's like God didn't create evil; He created free will, and as a result of free will, somebody just went the route of evil. But
Yeah.
my whole thing is if God just popped into existence, He's always been, He always will be. He wasn't created. There is no beginning. There is no end. Then, by our understanding of nature and the way things are, that there would be the equal on the evil spectrum. Why do we never talk about that? Because there would just be this evil
Right.
that has always been there, will always be there. What is that? It's like Satan is a sub boss
Yeah.
in a video game, and then this thing that nobody talks about is the actual boss.
Yeah.
What's that about?
I don't know. That I think that's a true. What do you call that when there is no right answer when it comes to that. You know what I mean? You're in a state of you're caught in limbo. There's no way to go with that because people can say,
It's a conundrum.
Can God create a boulder that He can't pick up? He's the strongest man. He can make anything. So can he create a boulder that He can't pick up? Well, technically, no, because there's nothing that God can't do. He's omni-strong.
See, I would argue technically yes.
Yeah.
Because if there's nothing that He can't do, then of course He can do it.
Yeah. That's what I always
And He's
said
only
too.
allowing
But-
Himself to not be able to pick it up.
But He can.
But He can. So,
But He can't.
So
yeah.
on the good and evil, I would say there is no name for that evil. That evil, right? It's just however good it can get. I feel like that's what the evil is. So we don't know if God is as good as it can get. You know what I mean? If
We're just
God can
told
create
that.
something better than Himself, then there could be something better than Him, and there could be something equally as bad.
Well, I mean, let's just take the idea of like religion and their belief out of it, and let's just say hypothetically, God is the ultimate good.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
He is the ultimate.
What's the ultimate bad? Because I mean, it can't just be the absence of God.
Oh no!
Because I mean, that's just stupid and lazy.
Yeah, that's just the Antichrist. So.
Suffering would be a lot better with the absence of God. Like I feel like rape wouldn't happen with the absence of God, and like
Right.
I feel like there's something much worse than the
If
absence
God
of
went
God.
away, I would start raping a lot more.
Would you? I don't,
No, you would not.
Okay, say like God presents Himself
shit.
and then throws Himself off of a
Found it.
bridge, right?
Yeah.
And then where God is no more, morals don't matter. You won't go to heaven or hell, right? What would you actually start doing? Would you still live morally because you were raised morally, or would you?
I would say most
Fuck it all.
would.
I would say
Nope.
I would live morally as long as it benefited me in my goals.
Yeah.
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 Cool. Well,
That's a
see,
good answer.
that's what my whole thing is. Like, we were really good at being bad. Like, I was really good at being bad. I'm good at being
Yeah.
good as well.
Well, I mean, were you?
But
Yes.
for quite a while, I was really good at it. You know what I mean? I would if I didn't have a moral compass like then, but if I didn't have it without drugs, I don't know if I would go back to robbing and
Well, I mean,
getting over
I
on
only
people.
question it because you got caught and punished.
I know that's the whole.
How good are
thing.
you? If
Yeah.
you
I'm not going to say this on the air. I'll say it off the air. Just remind me to come back to
I
that.
feel like what I got charged with and what I actually did, I
Yes.
feel like I definitely got off
Light.
like
Okay.
That's what I was
So-
going to say.
All
Okay.
right, so
Yeah.
you're good, but not perfect.
right.
Okay, because I was thinking, like, if I'm really good at cheating on my girlfriend, but I eventually get caught, am I really that good?
Well, see, this is the thing. Okay, I think after a while you get stupid. So
You get comfortable with stuff and you're just
Well,
cocky.
the comfortable part, but you put
Sure.
drugs in there, right? That was my main motivator. I used it to numb myself so that I could do these acts, right? So when it comes down to it, the drugs is what got in the way. So if I was just clear-headed, and I feel like somebody who is straight and narrow, clear-headed can go through all the options and all the outcomes and then do the crime, I feel like it'd be a long time before they got caught. Mm-hmm. If they're doing it just strictly like to make a living, and they're clear-headed and they take the time to plan it all out, I feel like not now because of all the cameras, but
right, yeah,
they had a good shot, in the 90s and 2000s.
Yeah, I agree with that. Because it is, I mean, it doesn't matter, like, as good as we were, drugs still got in the way. It's
Drugs
still,
always do, yeah.
You think you're thinking clearly aside from the robbing, but but you're not at all.
So, another thing about the God thing, this kind of along the same basis, right? The Buddhist religion believes that you reincarnate in 49 days to 2 years. Within that time, you reincarnate, you come back, which I believe a lot in reincarnation as far as like the Buddhist thing, right? Life is a continual roller coaster. You just keep riding, right?
Goddamn cycle.
And then, so my question is, how like we have like a world-ending catastrophe, like a big-ass asteroid, or
the Roadster, apparently.
Yeah, like a volcano erupting, or we just throw ourselves off the earth with all the technology we create, right? Either way it goes. So say everybody dies on Earth in one big mass extinction. Would we all continue? Would we come back eventually? Or does it start over? You get what I'm saying? Like, when does the reincarnation end for people?
Well, I feel like we just end up on another planet or plane of existence.
So you think our energy can get outside of this atmosphere?
Yeah.
Yes, I would say that's probably why.
Absolutely.
I guess the plane of existence, anyway. I think that's why we have different experiences. I think anyway that if you subscribe to the idea of, like, say, string theory, then you have to just assume, okay, well, if there's a me sitting here, if there's a me as a president and me as etc., then eventually I will do those things as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I might not be named Sarah. I might be me in a different form.
Seems reasonable on the scale of infinity.
Yeah.
Because it's just something to think about. Like, I don't truly feel like this is it. I feel like we're experiencing this body and this time on the scale. But I feel like eventually, like, if they wipe them all out, like, what happens then is, I guess, my thought. And I didn't have an answer for what happens. So
I would say that it would still continue because I don't think...
I wish we could remember the past lives. If that was a thing, I know there's some cases where... a child is born and they remember things from their past, and they actually even have the scars that the person had.
You know what to think about that? Like, that's kind of annoying because, there's the idea that with reincarnation, you can't take a step backwards, like I won't be a rabbit or anything. But if hypothetically humanity does get wiped out,
would you start? Yeah.
Does that mean we then just come back as something far beyond us elsewhere? Because it's like, well, we got to keep it going somehow. The show must go on.
Yeah. Well, that's eventually Earth would correct itself, and then it would the evolution would start over again, right? So you would evolve from a rabbit again, or whatever.
But then that breaks the understanding of the rule.
What rule?
That you can't go backwards.
Oh, you can't.
In the cycle of reincarnation.
So, is there a higher self? Is there an actual spirit world that you would go to if your physical plane ended? If you couldn't exist on a physical plane?
Well, and if you go to a different plane, if you've never been a rabbit in that plane, can you be a rabbit in that plane? Rabbit.
Run, rabbit, run!
Yeah. Could you like be a tree, like, or just one leaf on a tree? I don't know what it would be in that situation, but if you've never been that on that plane, then technically you could be anything. You could be the very beginning of life.
So you could be microorganism.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I would say. Yeah, for sure. I think you would. I think it would have to start.
You could also be, dark matter. I mean, you could be anything technically.
Well, what if you are anything and everything now, and you're just
Well, then you're God.
I am.
Exactly.
Thank you for saying it.
Exactly. And it brings us back to the point that we are all everything
I mean,
and
like in
nothing.
Indian Hindu culture, everybody is God.
Yeah.
And they're like, I'm God. And they're all like,
I'm God.
It's about time you realize that.
Yeah.
Man, I feel like nothing after all this is said and done, and they're like, they give us the all clear to just go back to normal life, right? Whatever that is after this. I feel like the human race will have learned nothing from all this. Like, I think we'll just go right back to the same bullshit.
I'd say the majority of people, definitely.
See, I feel the opposite.
You think?
I think people are going to learn something.
I think some will.
I think they're going to be more scared to shake people's hands and hug people and shit. I feel like it's going to separate us more.
It really depends on how long it goes on.
I think
Because
too.
if it goes more than a year,
Yeah.
I think people are going to have no choice but to actually learn
As a
something
behavior.
from it.
Yeah.
But I mean, if they raise everything in 2 weeks, then yeah, we'll be back to normal.
I would say too, it would depend on the severity of your area. So some people are not allowed to leave their homes, period.
Right.
I think those people definitely are going to take something away from it.
Whereas
and have
weed,
more-
not really.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe some people, but I'd say the majority, at least around here, if it stays just like it is. I mean, like, my life hasn't been affected at all. I might have to wait at the store a little longer than I want to, but that's about it. But
Man,
most of my life takes place in this house.
Yeah.
Kayla and I went to a Kroger earlier today. I guess it was today.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And, they had like a line set up outside with the X's and shit. But then there was a sign that said, 1 adult per household.
Per
Yes.
household, yeah.
So then we just pretended we didn't know each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're only allowed to have, it's to keep the number of people
I will
down.
say this today, and it pissed me off because I'm cool with the rules. That's fine. I understand why they're doing what they're doing and how many people in the store. I get it, right? But I went to go to a Lowe's and Home Depot. I am an essential worker, I guess, is the way, and I'm doing work for people that need their power on, blah, 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 right? It's an essential thing. And I do it every day. I go to Lowe's and Home Depot pretty much every single day, right? Because I have a job to do that needs to get done because these people need their power on.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? But since everybody's home, all these do-it-yourself pieces of shit, their wife has a list as long as whatever dude wants to do a mulch and
Dude
create
wants to do a
This
mulch.
mulching motherfucker.
you get what I'm saying? Like so all these people, I mean, it was hard to explain how many people were in line at Lowe's and Home Depot to wait for blah, blah, blah. Making it extremely hard for somebody like me that's actually working, not some do-it-yourself dumbass project that's going to fall through or you're going to get the material home and not do it because you're a lazy piece of shit.
Like, you're literally costing my business money.
Yeah. You are now a hindrance to me and you go home.
I feel like you
Go
should be
home.
able to take like your estimate with you that shows
And
this
then
is
walk it,
I'm
yeah.
working, because
Cut
you are
mine.
actually working.
Oh,
if you don't
that's a good
have
idea.
like an invoice or a license or whatever, then you go to
You
the
go to
back of the
hell.
line.
Yeah.
It's just
Go fuck yourself.
That's it.
I'm starting to think I'm part of the problem.
you are
Oh,
always.
yeah.
I went to Kroger after work, and I was like, I know I need something, but I don't know what. So I was just treating it like a normal trip. I would just kind of wander around, look at shit, and I was like, I could use
No,
that.
that's okay. I feel like a Kroger for sure do that. Because
No, you're a piece of shit.
also that.
'Cause,
But
I mean, I would be looking at something, and people would kind of like walk, and then they would stop, like
yeah,
at a distance from me. And I thought, I know that they want what I'm looking at, but they're not going to say anything.
Yes.
Just, I'll just keep
waiting.
looking. Fuck 'em.
I really just don't know. I can't decide between this brand and this brand.
Yeah. I ended up buying chocolate cinnamon toast crunch.
Ooh, is it good? Have you tried it?
It's pretty good.
Yeah, awesome.
I like it.
I'm not chocolate.
Don't make
fan.
that stupid
Fuck chocolate.
face.
No, but so
Whoops.
okay. Because I can't, I don't know, I hate other people, right? I don't really care for people. People
Don't we
suck.
all?
They're terrible, they're dumb, and I'm probably one of the, like somebody else looking at me, I'm probably the same thing to them, right? Okay. If
only
nobody
because
was
they
left
don't
on
know you.
Earth, if everybody was taken off Earth but you, do you think you would enjoy that more? Or you think you enjoy people? Like, how many people is enough people?
I think we could cut it down to 30,000.
40.
And that's across the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
My only complaint would be no more Ryan Adams music.
Yeah, but who cares?
Twin
about that?
Peaks season 4 is never gonna happen,
What if you can pick?
and I'll
the
never
people?
know when Supernatural ends, how it ends.
What if all
that would be it.
all those things still exist?
Great, kill everybody.
Do
Kill
it.
them all.
Yeah,
Yep.
let's get
Pull
it.
the trigger.
That's what
That's all I need.
I'm okay. I could go down about half the people that are here now. Or a quarter of all the people.
I'd be
on Earth.
okay with even half or a quarter would be cool.
Yeah.
I seriously do think though that we could take it down to like 40,000 people and we'd be good.
So I mean, eventually I would just find like an assault rifle, and I could go hunting.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'll always have
But
food.
what would you hunt?
Yeah.
Oh, because you'd still be animals.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hell yeah, because they didn't do anything and they should definitely live here.
Yeah.
Animals are badass.
So I could take them out. I mean, any idiot can grow tomatoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yes.
Plus, I mean, I have an unlimited number of seeds. So it's like, well, I fucked up the first 30 times, but I got it now.
Yeah, so I figured this out. If you listen to that Bill Burr skit, he talks about less people on the planet, and I think he might say 30,000. Maybe that's where I got that number.
Yeah.
But he's talking about like lanes on the highway are just opening up. He said, you know, you could play in the Super Bowl and everybody could go. Like some of the people would actually play in the Super Bowl.
Yes.
I think it's an excellent idea.
I do love less people on the road.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Although I found now still like every once in a while somebody will be in my way. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
How are you here?
Yeah.
Do you not know you're supposed to stay in your home?
Like, there are no speed limits. You're not supposed to be out here, and you're still in my goddamn way.
there are speed limits, though. You just drive 115.
Yeah, but I mean,
allegedly.
if cops aren't pulling people over, and they've officially said this,
Yeah.
if cops aren't pulling people over, get the fuck out of the way. There's
am-
no reason to do that.
I imagine at a certain point, if the issue was big enough, they would pull you over.
Yeah. I feel like going 115 is, if they see you doing that, they're like, well, we pretty much have to pull you over.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
we're
but then if you
bitches.
just start coughing,
Yeah, they can
But they
just
don't
put a
care.
mask on.
Yeah.
Or stand away
They're gonna
from the
lock you
car.
up.
cough
for
on
sure.
their chest.
You're going to jail then. Yeah, if you want to cough on their chest, you're definitely getting locked up.
Ooh,
And
I've
then you're
also-
going to be in there with a lot of other people that probably have the virus.
I've actually kind of wondered how this happens, because there is a lot of concern for like prisoners and stuff, and they're all like, "Oh, we're gonna have an epidemic within the prison system." Like,
They're releasing a lot of people.
how the fuck is that even happening? Like,
Visitation.
no, cut off
New people.
visitation. New people make sense,
Yeah.
but cut off visitation. And then, like, I had considered the possibility that, like, the guards there and, like, the
Yeah.
employees and shit.
And so you got employees, you got new people coming in. It's very possible. Even if you have no visitation, CEOs can come and go as they please. New people are being locked up every day.
I feel like in the whole essential worker thing, right? Because the people, the employers are still going to put you to work and expect you to be at work. But if you fear for your life and you don't want to get sick and all that, and you choose not to go in, I feel like you should have that choice, and you shouldn't be fired for not wanting to come in through a virus and stuff. I feel like they should have the choice not to be
I
around
imagine they do.
You guys want to hear something fun about corporate America?
Sure.
Always.
I think on Monday, OSHA came in and they shut down the warehouse because they're all like, "Oh, you guys aren't doing the whole 6 feet thing. You know, you're not doing it properly."
Yeah.
All right. So they kind of started to freak out. Night shift didn't work. The next day they came in, they had taped off like all the walkways. It was like, okay, now here's a 6-foot mark. Here's a 6-foot mark.
Oh, damn, that
Here's all the
sucks.
shit. And then they started training people on how to keep
Stand
your distance.
6 feet
And now,
away.
Like
There's
within the
training for
within
that.
the bathrooms, there's a maximum of 2.
Yeah.
They have signs everywhere for like all the sections. It's like you can have this many people. You can have this many people. I've been deemed an essential employee.
That's awesome.
It sucks. But I've been deemed an essential employee.
Yeah.
One of my responsibilities Thursday was to sit outside the bathroom
no.
and monitor that 2 fucking adults are only in the bathroom.
Yeah, I wouldn't be doing that.
That's your life at this moment.
So-
that sucks.
That's insane.
Another thing that irritated me though is that, I mean, it just speaks to the idea of corporate America and how much they don't give a fuck about anybody.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't do any of this shit until OSHA came in and shut them down.
And made
Yeah.
them.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's like, we don't give a shit about the health of our employees,
Mm-hmm.
in spite of the fact that we say we kind of do. They were just like, oh my God, we can't make money anymore.
Yeah.
We have
we
to
have
make
to
this
change.
more tolerable for people. So every day I think about setting that fucking place on
No
fire.
shit. Well,
That's
and
crazy.
it's a complete disregard for what the federal government has said that you have to do. They're just
Yeah.
like, no, they don't know. They're not here.
They're not here. They're not.
That's ridiculous.
And a lot of those companies won't do something about it until OSHA shows up and shuts them down. Like, what do they care? Like, as long as that almighty dollar keeps pumping its
Oh,
way
yeah.
through the fucking system, they're good.
It's a damn
Hell
shame
with
one of us isn't a lawyer, because I guarantee if you had said, this is my lawyer and I'm taking action because you're putting me at risk,
Yeah.
they would have fixed it immediately.
Oh,
Yeah.
Indeed. It's all
It's
quite
nuts.
terrible.
Hell yeah.
It makes it really hard to not be bitter.
Oh yeah. I'd be bitter.
Because, I
for
mean,
sure.
it is kind of nice. I do like having the whole thing of, like, as fucked up as everything is, my life is pretty much continuing as normal.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like, there is something pretty fucked up going on, and all they care about is money.
Oh yeah.
And I can't
Most companies are that way.
just individually kill all of them
Yeah.
because, I mean, that's frowned upon.
You
But
could, but
could.
you would definitely
but it's what
get
I
locked
want
up.
to do.
You would certainly
What I
get
wanna
locked
do.
up. And then it would kind of defeat the purpose, because then you'd be locked up with a bunch of people who have like lower immune systems. And especially when
Yeah.
you're first locked up or you're transferred, your immune system is shot.
I wish.
So
I
then,
wish the. Oh,
no, just go ahead.
I wish that
That's right.
the whole system would just collapse. Like, there's no way to make money anymore. Nobody's buying these products because nobody has money. I want it to collapse.
I feel like then we wouldn't have food, toilet paper, water.
But like what he said, you know how many deer around here? I'd go kill a deer.
Right?
You know what I mean?
I'll cut its
Yep.
fucking head off and eat its meat.
And eat it.
Yeah.
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
Hey, neither one
Awesome.
of us know.
Is that another episode of Wildly Uninteresting Podcast?
It
Was it?
something.
I don't know.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Let's get some food up in us.
I just
Food.
work
Thank
here,
you.
man.
Food.
Thank you
Food.
for listening to another episode. If you made it all the way to the end, you can go fuck yourself.
Yeah, you suck.
That was episode 54. Please like, comment, share, do all the other things and
Eat
all
the
the things.
symbol of your savory savior's suffering.
Yeah.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba,
Scatting on a microphone.
Wildly
Scooby-doo-bop-bop.
uninteresting podcast.